Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our public planning hearing for Monday, October 27th, 2025. I'll call this meeting to order at 5 o'clock and ask if there's any declaration of pecuniary interest.
Nope.
Not seeing any. We have 4 members of council in attendance tonight. I'm not sure if anybody else is going to attend, but we actually don't need quorum for a public hearing, but we do have it. Okay, getting into the applications, this public meeting was called under Section 34 of the Planning Act, RSO 1990 as amended, concerning one proposed zoning bylaw amendment to the Grey Highlands Comprehensive Zoning Bylaw 2004-50. Any person or public body is entitled to attend the public meeting and make written or oral submissions in support of or in opposition to any of the proposed amendments. Written comments should be submitted to the planning department. If a specified person or public body does not make oral submissions at a public meeting or make written submissions to the municipality of Grey Highlands before the zoning bylaw is passed, the specified person or public body is not entitled to appeal the decision of council of the municipality of Grey Highlands to the Ontario Land Tribunal, and in addition, they may not be added as a party to the hearing of an appeal before the tribunal unless, in the opinion of the tribunal, there are reasonable grounds to do so. It is important to note that if you wish to be mailed a notice of the passing of the bylaw and/or notice of decision, and you do not live within 120 meters of the subject property, you must provide your request in writing to the planning department of the municipality of Grey Highlands. Registering for this virtual meeting does not represent your written request. A guideline sheet is available upon request. So agenda item 3.1, and it's our only file, is zoning bylaw amendment application number Z24-2025, affecting lands owned by Michele and Paul Harris and Ruthie, Irwin, and Ron Paron. The subject land's legal description is part lot 1617 concession 11 Artemisia, as in R409439 ST R409439 ST GS 102107 Grey Highlands, and a civic address of 814-507 Johnston Sideroad. The benefiting lot legal description is part lot 16, concession 11, Artemisia, part 2, 4, and 5, 17R 1380, Grey Highlands, civic address of 814519 Johnston Sideroad. The notice of this public meeting was posted on the municipal website and social media on the 30th day of September 2025 to the property owner and to all property owners within 120 meters of the subject property, in addition to all agencies and persons identified in the Planning Act. At this time, council will hear presentations by the applicant or their agent. And just looking over to see, I see Ron Davidson is representing this file, so we'll move Ron over.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ron.
So I shall be brief. Ron Davidson, and I am a planning consultant. And this afternoon, I am representing the both the property owners, the Harrises, and as well as the Miss Irwin and Mr. Paron. The purpose of the zoning bylaw amendments is it's necessary to facilitate a lot line adjustment between the two properties. The property that's owned by the Mrs. Irwin and Mr. Paron is very small by today's standards. It would never be allowed to be created that small And this lot line adjustment would increase it significantly. So that's obviously a good thing when you're talking about lots that are serviced with private wells and private septic systems. So the consent application itself for a lot line adjustment was approved last week by the Committee of Adjustment. One of the conditions was that the lands be rezoned, and that's why we're here tonight. The rezoning or the zoning bylaw amendments would change the zoning of the two properties to RUR, which is a zone that they should have likely been put in to begin with when the bylaw was passed a number of years ago for the municipality. And then the bylaw will also reduce some of the provisions of the RUR zone because the lots will still be a little bit undersized. And at the same time, the bylaw will acknowledge some of the existing reduced setbacks for the buildings. There's a couple of deficiencies that exist, and that's not changing as a result of this lot line adjustment. The proposal in a nutshell has a lot of merit. Like I said, it's allowing one really small lot to become quite a bit bigger, and that's a good thing. The Committee of Adjustment found merit with the application, and hopefully the council does as well. Mr. Chair, that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So at this time, the municipal planner will advise of comments received and provide an overview and purpose and effect of the bylaw. Planner Bilodeau, please.
Yes, thank you. I'm just going to see if the clerk has the PowerPoint presentation to share, if I should be sharing my screen. Oh, perfect. Thank you so much. All right, we can just go to the, oh, perfect, right there, yeah. So again, we've already addressed this, but the address of the property in question is 814-507 on Johnston Sideroad, and the applicant is Michele and Paul Harris. And as Mr. Davidson had mentioned, this is a lot line adjustment that came to the Committee of Adjustment last week to convey a portion of property to the benefit lot to the west, resulting in 2 parcels of land with modified lot areas. So this was approved last week at Committee of Adjustment. And one of the conditions is to rezone the properties to recognize the deficient lot area and some of the existing buildings that are on the property. So we'll just go to the next slide, and it gives you a bit of a visual representation of the property in question. So you can see here the retained and severed on the right photo there, the severed going to that benefiting lot to make it a bit bigger. But you can also see that there the buildings themselves are near and close to some of the lot lines. So we're essentially just trying to recognize the placement of those existing buildings. And from our understanding, there's no development being proposed at this time. It is simply just a lot line adjustment. Next slide. So just to reflect what the Committee of Adjustment decision looks like, this is it here. So the consent cancellation application B14 be approved subject to the following conditions. And the one of importance is that that zoning bylaw amendment be approved to rezone both the severed and retained lands from agricultural to rural residential. And we'll just go to the next slide. Essentially just trying to capture what those exceptions are going to look like. So for the retained parcel, the minimum lot area would be reduced to 0.3 hectares. The minimum lot frontage would be 38 meters. And the minimum side yard and rear yard for an existing accessory building that was to the rear of the property be 0 meters. The benefiting lot would have a minimum rear yard of 9 meters, a minimum front yard of 14 meters, and a minimum side yard of 4.8 meters. And again, no developments being proposed at this time. And in terms of comments received from agencies, we didn't get anything since this application or since the report was written. So county planning had no concerns as it met the legal and technical reason definition of the official plan. It would not create a new lot and is essentially to enlarge a very undersized residential lot on full private servicing. So again, no concerns. County Planning and Ecology also reviewed the application and had no concerns. And Saugeen Conservation reviewed the application and also deemed it acceptable. So I'll leave it at that. And if there's any questions from the group, I'm more than happy to respond.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions from members to either our planner or the applicant's agent? Councillor Allwood.
Thank you, Chair Allen. I just have one question. You know, I'm surprised that they were able to create those lots in an agricultural, in an A1 zone area, but I guess that was some time ago and
Probably a long time ago.
Yeah.
wouldn't happen today.
No.
No, thank you.
Okay, not seeing any other hands. So we will move on to the public. Any person present wishing to object to or support the proposed zoning bylaw amendment or have any comments or questions, please indicate and state your name and address. And I'm looking at the attendee list. There's only one person in attendance, and they are one of the applicants. So, but I will just give it a little bit of time just in case. Okay, nobody is indicating that they wish to speak on this file. Any last comments from council? Seeing none, as there's no further discussion, this application will be forwarded to a future council meeting for further consideration. Okay, thanks, Ron. And council, staff, that's it. I'll declare this meeting adjourned at 5:11. Good night, everybody.